want to go over what it takes to be GDPR compliant. And I'm not positioning myself as an attorney or a lawyer that understands the law, so please don't take this as legal advice. But I just want to survey a week after GDPR went into effect, that would be May 25th, last Friday, what I'm seeing different larger companies are doing to address this. So I'm starting off by looking at IBM's site. So this is a big international company. This is their US English site. And you'll notice they don't have anything that overtly warns you that you can only visit this site if you accept their privacy policy. But they do have this line right here. So I'm going to refresh the page and you'll see that, it's fairly prominent. And what they're saying here is, hey, their privacy statement has been updated. You can kind of go through here. If you go a little bit farther down, you'll see that they do mention GDPR. So the EU law went into effect. And so, here's some information. And if you want to be removed from their list, you can. It doesn't give you overt instructions, but you can kind of see the approach they've taken. Let me go over to Airbus. Now, Airbus takes a slightly different approach. They have this pop-up. So I'm going to refresh the page, and you'll see in order to give better service, we use cookies. By continuing to browse the site, you're agreeing to the use of that. And this stays here until you click on the agree. Now, you can, traverse the site, you can look around and see what's going on, and this thing doesn't go away. Now, the minute you hit agree, it does go away, and then you continue along your merry way, and that doesn't come up. But they're keeping track of the fact that you overtly did agree to accept cookies. Now, here is ABN AMRO Bank. This is their Netherlands site, and if I refresh, you'll see that you can see the site, and then pretty quickly the site gives you this pop-up that says either in Dutch or in English, hey, I accept cookies. And if you want to know more about it, you can set it more specifically, but they won't let you actually do anything on the site unless you accept their cookie policy. So in their case, you have to accept cookies before you can, cruise around their site and do anything else. So, that's what these three companies are doing. I'm assuming they went back with their attorneys and decided how they were going to deal with this new law going into effect and how they were going to comply. Now, the other thing, and I'm not going to go into this in much detail, but you'll see that forms now will have a checkbox that says, I accept, the privacy policy, and they'll give you a link to the privacy policy that you can click on and read what that says. So it'll be an extra checkbox that you'll start seeing in a lot of sites, and this is to comply with, the European law that just went into effect. Now, I have seen other vendors come up and just have a statement that says, by pressing submit or register or whatever it says on your button, you're accepting to abide by our privacy policy and our cookie policy. They'll have two links, one to each of the privacy or the cookie policy, and without having a checkbox. So, again, their legal department says you don't have to have a checkbox. It's just an implied thing, but you do have to make that statement on your checkbox. Those are the two things that I'm seeing. Now, behind the scenes, you also have to keep track of that information so that if someone did accuse you of, not telling them, you can show that, you have proof that they actually did accept that. And then there has to be a way for you to clear their information from your records. Which means that there needs to be a way for them to either contact you via email or some sort of form on your site, and then you have a process for eliminating their information from your system. So, this is just kind of a very high-level update on this, but it might be informative to those of you who are just kind of wrapping your head around this and trying to figure out how do you comply with this regulation?